Kenny Green, raw perspective, concrete and steel, keeping it good and raw. Community unity, that's what it's about. Hit them subscribes, man. Let's do it together. It's always better when we do it together. Hey, today I wanted to kick it a little bit about the Young Thug situation. Who he is, to the people that don't know, he's a rapper out of Georgia, right? They say he was part of a street gang, violent activities and all of this. And the Fannie Withers, we know her, the prosecutor in Georgia, put something together and 27 people was arrested. And his trial has been going on for the last 2 years. This is the longest criminal trial Georgia has ever had, right? So now recently, Young Thug took what you call a blind plea deal, meaning he took a plea of guilty, changed his plea from not guilty to guilty, not knowing what the deal would be, not knowing what he would face, what his sentence would be, right? A lot of people thought he was crazy. A lot of people felt like, why would he do that? Now, he received 15 years probation. I'm speaking about this because there's a lot of comments, opinions on both sides of it. Let me say, where the leverage may have changed for the prosecution, right? Someone, I think one of the co-defendants, someone was reading something and something came out that the jurors wasn't supposed to hear, which led that Young Thug and his attorney could file for a mistrial. Now, to file for a mistrial means that this whole thing would have to start all over again. And it might have been beneficial to the defense or beneficial to the prosecution. Either way, this was an opportunity to say, hey, look, man, we don't have to put in for a mistrial, but we might be interested in taking the plea if things could go a certain way. A lot of the other co-defendants took pleas and their sentences range between 5 years to 20. Some even got time served. So even looking at this may have been a stupid move for Young Thug, I think it was a good calculated move because you got to understand what he was facing. Decades of his life and possible life in jail. And a lot of times when people give their opinions about things, they're not doing the time. They talk about what they wouldn't do, what they wouldn't go for. Let me explain something to you. Relatively, when you say you violate if you get police contact, that's basically if you're committing another crime. If he gets a speeding ticket or something happened, still there's steps that have to be taken. You can't just put him in jail righteously. And clearly he has a financial base so he can fight. And even if a probation officer violates him, because we remember Meek Mills went to something, there's ways to fight that. But think about this. The man has sat in prison for 2 years, right? He's watched his friends portray him, probably different women portray him. He watched maybe his family getting broken up. He's seen his kids dealing with the weight of this situation. And now there's an opportunity that he can come home, right? Of course he should take it. Of course he should take it. I don't know what age his parents are, but he's 30-something. So, you be in prison, there's a chance that if your mother or father pass, you can't go to the funeral. They may need your support as they get older. Man, you need to try to be in the streets. So all those people that's talking about he shouldn't have did this, he shouldn't have did that. And yes, it was a roll of the dice, hoping that but the judge saw enough of him and realized he's not a bad guy. And this may help him. I just might need to put a long leash on him so things don't get, out of hand. See, what a lot of people miss is that when you're in prison, a lot of things stop. And this is a young man with finances, with money. And in prison, there's a lot of things you can't do. You're not going to be with your girl. You're not going to drive your car. You're not going to be hanging and taking your family to dinners. You're not going to be in those intricate moments with your children. So this restriction is not really a trap off. He just got to move different. And it's not difficult to move different. And one reason it's not difficult, because some of these friends, some of these acquaintances and associates that he maybe held in one regard, in this last 2 years, he learned a lot about people, situations, and places that he probably shouldn't be. Concrete and steel. Young Thug, man, get it in.